No one cares if it's shot on the phone, on the camera.
Film that made you want to make films.
Having this like egoistic, cool attitude, like just how can it be like this? Like
We've moved forward as a generation altogether.
First thing I changed is a Russian accent. This aura matters.
No fashion designer actually dresses like this at all
Yeah,
times.
it's
It
girls
looks like these.
go inside. Maybe that's not part of this podcast. Relax. Okay.
Yes. Hi fam, welcome back to another episode of the Roology Ramble, where we let the audacious souls take over and the fashion world gets all the more real. For this episode, we're going behind the lenses, quite literally. Our guest today is actually revolutionizing storytelling in the fashion
I
world.
don't know if I'm ready.
You are. She is a creative director, she's a filmmaker and editor who's bringing each and every frame to life. It feels like every emotion has come to life in such a beautiful way. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Miss Daria.
Hello. Thanks
Hi,
for having me. I'm
Daria.
very happy to be
We're
here.
so happy to have you. We're so excited to finally have like a take from someone who's always been behind the lenses. So we would like to do a quick intro. We always do this where we let the guest, do their own intro because who else can tell your story better than you? So just a quick short intro.
Hi everyone, my name is Daria. I am a director, filmmaker, and editor.
Tell me, Daria, like what was it that sort of planted this seed inside of you? Like when was that first time that you maybe held a camera or that feeling that you just knew that this is what you want to do? How did it all begin?
For me, it was a little bit different because I know that like a lot of people sometimes like struggle to find something what they like. Like some people know what they don't like in life, but it's hard to find your passion.
True.
For me, I always knew that this will be a field that
Okay.
I'll be working at. At first, I thought like, okay, I'm gonna be an actress. Then I was like, no, okay, I want to do something bigger. I thought like, okay, I'll be a director. And then COVID happened. And then I'm like, I'm gonna be at home. Nothing gonna happen. So honestly, videography for me was just easiest way to start working in the industry.
Right.
Because like directing, like you gotta start doing this like straight away. You either start as a assistant and like slowly going like that, or like you need to step into it like somehow different. You cannot get into this role straight away. So for me it was just the most logical way to become a filmmaker and start making like commercial ads and all. And do I have something? No? Okay. And plus it's just most logical way of start earning the money as well, because that
Right.
was important for me at that point of time as well.
Right. So, interesting that you say that you thought of being an actress and then a director, and then you thought, let's just enter the field.
Yeah.
So, that brings me to a very interesting question that, like you said, you just need to start. So, would you recommend that this field require like formal education, or would you just say that experience is always beyond formal education?
So I would say definitely like you don't need like diploma. Diploma is not something which will save you, because it doesn't, like, this paper does not mean that like you actually have knowledge. So if the question is like, do you need to have knowledges? Of course, like you
Yeah.
do need to know the stuff. You don't need you do need to know the like technical sides of the profession for sure. And then it's just based on you either choose to go to like university and like college or something like, and just go through the program like that was created like for you.
Right.
Or you someone who likes to explore and just wants to start straight away, or that you learn better through the experience.
Right.
And this was my case also, but like I started just like as a fresher, like I didn't know like basically anything.
So you learned under someone.
Yeah, and like when you said like do you remember the first time when you taking your camera and all, I remember this time,
we
and
would
that was
love to
not
hear
something
that.
like a proud moment. It was like that. That what happens that like, especially when you start like young, like I was pretty much like a teenager, and I think I was 16 or something.
Wow.
And but like at that age, you have a lot of passion and a lot of belief that, come on, like
You do
know, yeah, you got this. Like
Yeah.
everyone is fool. Like you are the only person who knows like how to get this. So, and that's what, like I always had a vision, never had technical any knowledges or skills. So, and yeah, with just this belief, I just went for a shoot. Luckily it was not a commercial shoot, just something which I was doing, like collaborating with a like blogger or something.
Right.
And then like that moment when you like see the final footages,
Right.
and you start editing, and the moment when you realize that like, oh, like it's not really something what was in my mind, and the video was like, I still have it and I still look at it like sometimes, like I still remember the idea which I had in my mind, and I realized like it's there. I mean, the seed of
Yeah.
that idea, it's still there, but like the skills were completely missing out. So the video is glitching, that somehow I have like crazy like shadows there, and I mean like just visually it does not look great at all, but of
Right.
course it matters always,
course.
because like
Yeah.
you cannot explain your idea to like each and every person and prove that like, okay, there is something interested. Like of course the visuals needs to be there, and that's like where I realized also that like, oh, okay, I'm like I still need to learn it. It actually hurts the ego a lot when you realize that, oh damn, okay, like
You have to
okay,
know
I'm
more.
not a like professional from my first shoot. Like how can I be like this? And then yeah, just slowly like every shoot, like actually like all the other shoots after that I've done with the same kind of motivation. I was like, okay, no, this time I'll do something different. But for sure, to bring your ideas from like to convert them from your mind to
Reality.
the physical, you know, video, physical something, you need to have skills. That's where
Right.
the professionalism comes into. Like
Right.
that's why people learn, that's why people study, not because like they were not like born talented or
Knowing
something.
that, yeah.
It's just like you need to learn the actual
Yeah.
skills.
Yeah, so the idea is basically you have to master the skills, whether you do it by
Yeah,
learning
yeah,
under someone
for sure.
or a diploma.
Yeah, but I would say, you know, like some people kind of like whoever chooses, like let's say, just starting, like assisting and not going to university or anything, and they usually start also kind of proving and like trying to prove like this is the best way, like okay, we don't need universities. And especially when it comes to like art degrees, it's kind of hard to measure the
Yeah.
knowledges which you are getting
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's
you
a
never
very
know if
subjective
it's gonna work.
field.
Yeah, you never know if it's gonna work or not. But my honest opinion is that like I wouldn't recommend neither ways, because like you only need to decide what
works
works
for
for you
you.
the best, because both ways are not easy. Like
True.
in college you have to spend a lot of time
True.
learning and all, and the second way you have to experience a lot of breakdowns in the
Yes,
beginning.
a lot of harsh judgment also.
Yeah, you have to break your ego by yourself. You have to collect all this like pieces of information by yourself, and it's also not an easy job.
Of course.
So yeah, it depends on you, I would say.
Right. So since now it's been a while and you've worked enough and now you've been doing like quite a lot of independent shoots. So would you like to run us through the process, like from seed to a plant? How does it, come to your mind, and how do you bring it to life?
If like you mean that you need like a proper breakdown of
Yeah,
how
like
the
your
shoot happens?
process.
Okay, because it's different. Like, I don't know if you're asking about like personal projects or the commercial projects, because
So,
the process might be a bit different. Like,
basically, your constant, like something that remains constant through all of these projects, something that is very personal to you that you do, right from idea to, like you said, bringing it to life.
so, like, okay, let's then say that it's like my project, or I have a power to control the
Right.
idea and like the way it's getting built. Because like what happens in commercial field, like
Yeah,
you
of
don't
course,
get
there
to
are briefs and you don't
yeah,
get
yeah,
to.
yeah, you don't get to manage everything. So of course it all starts from the idea. I personally get inspired a lot by music. Like, I'm very sensitive to music and to sound, and a lot of my videos which I started doing, and like which I started from,
Right.
I was doing based on music. I mean,
Oh.
like, I would just hear a song, hear something, and then some, like, literally visual, like, images
Come in
would
your
come into my
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
So this is my personal way, because I know I'm sensitive to like mood, and like
Right.
mood the video creates and gives. Because um what I know for sure, that some people, like, and actually maybe even majority of the people who like DOPs or like filmmakers, they usually focus on the visual image. They really like to build like something like, I don't know, static, cinematic, set, whatever. So this is not really my case, because of course, like, later I realized that of course, like, the image matters a lot.
Yeah.
But for me, like, the first thing which I focus on is the
Music.
mood it brings, that like what people are feeling after like watching a
Right,
video or
right.
whatever. So music, of course, like affects a lot on this. So yeah, you start with an idea, like, of course, ideal if you have some concept, also if you have something to say by this idea.
Yeah.
Like nowadays you can also just do visuals, like,
Yeah.
without any
Story or
meaning into
anything,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and for me it's fine also, because uh, I mean, it's not like a lot of people who watch your videos or like photos will actually go deep into like the idea you put in there. So sometimes visuals are also like good to start from, and like it can also inspire someone and all. So yeah, you start with an idea or the concept. If it's like, yeah, if you have some message to say, that's really good, it
Yeah.
will really help you to build like the whole concept around it. Then you move to creating an actual mood board,
Right.
which is also like a brief for the photographer, videographer to understand your idea and work based on this. So yeah, you collect, I don't know, images, references as much as you can, like, and it's actually very important to write down all the like technical sides of like what exactly you want, like the color of the light, the power of the light, the where you are, like what's happening. Because a lot of times people who have vision, they think, I don't know, like, honestly I don't think what they have in their mind, but it looks like they think that their vision is so clear and everyone should just get it, should just like, I mean, just make it look beautiful, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you're like, what is beautiful for you?
You need to
So, yeah, so
specify.
you
Yeah.
need to specify, you need to show it on references, on with music, with everything, like all the detail.
Yeah.
As much as you can show, you should show.
That's so interesting, though.
And then you, I don't know,
Shoot
bring a
it.
team up, yeah, and
Yeah.
just roll. But honestly, sometimes for some shoots, the post production is also main thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there, if as long as the brief is good, you just
Follow it.
yeah, follow it and do it based on that.
But so interesting, like what you said initially, that music is what inspires you, and most of the times people don't really like when they go through your work, they're not gonna know, okay, it came from this story or this is what it's saying. And there's a lot of responsibility you're putting on your project when you wanted to sort of narrate a story without literally narrating a story, which is something that I've always noticed in all of your films. This was, a part of my
That there's no story,
question.
but you still feel like there's a story.
Yeah, I feel like most of your films, in the first 3 seconds only, it feels like there is this emotion that I'm able to connect to. But like, I know what this is about, but it's also so interesting that it keeps me, focused till the end. Like, I want to know what's happening. Because for me, also, as a creative, I also always start from a story. And I know at the end of the day, people are not going to get that. But I think this source of inspiration is what keeps our passion alive.
Yeah.
And that's how,
Yeah. I feel like as long as you're passionate about what you're doing, as long as you actually like something, it will, like, not even like when you have a feeling, like when you watch your work or whatever you've done and you have a feeling, you have a connection to it, other people will also get connected to it. I'd experienced it so many times when I'm posting something which is like I'm personally connected to, but I know that maybe professionally it's not that well done or something. Like, I know that there might be a lot of mistakes or some, like, not mistakes, like some things which could be corrected. But then somehow everyone, like, people actually don't care, like, I mean, no one cares if it's shot on the phone, on the camera, or on, like, whatever.
No,
it's just as long as it's bringing the feeling, people, like, will connect to it. And then you also sometimes post something which is properly done, like, professional, and no one cares about it. So,
it happens a lot with us as well, where, you put in so much thought and you're, like, tweaking every tiny bit and trying to make it super perfect. But, like, at the end of the day, I feel like, as you said, people don't even notice that. And it's crazy. But since we're touching, like, on all the basics, there's this one concept that everyone sort of talks about but doesn't know about clearly, which is creative direction. Now, creative direction, or a creative director as a role per se, has a different meaning in every different field, right? For example, in a brand, it's how the brand feels. The creative director decides what is the emotion that a certain brand is going to emote. Everything, like, if we talk literally right from campaign to packaging, everything is a part of creative direction. So how would you sort of, like, define it in terms of filmmaking?
So maybe it's either I'm not the right person to ask, or it's actually like this, that no one clearly understands what it is. Because, I mean, like, of course there is a definition, of course there is, like, a part of things which the creative director does, but when it comes to write down the actual responsibilities and actual things that the creative director does, it depends on the project. Like, I mean, it depends on, like, and same maybe with, like, everything, even, like, the videographer. Some people, like, I think nowadays videographers, like filmmakers, they also take a part of creative direction, because a lot of people expect them to do everything. So I would say, even, like, on the projects where there is no such role, like, separate role of creating a creative director, then whoever's filming, shooting it, takes that part and takes that role. So, but actually, the person who calls himself creative director, it's probably like, you basically need to direct but creatively, if that makes sense. So you are taking responsibility for the transforming this brief, this technical brief which you have, into life. Because what happens, that sometimes the person who's shooting, like photographer, videographer, it's not necessarily that people should understand the whole concept.
Right.
That because on the bigger production shoots, everyone is taking their role very, how do I say, everyone
Specifically.
they're specific.
This is their
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
This is
So
your job.
if it's a photographer, it can only take pictures.
Right.
So like the set is done by the set designer.
Yeah.
Then the outfits are done by the stylist. So you're not like
Interfering
responsible.
with-
Yeah, you're not responsible for any other thing except your job.
Yeah.
So ideally, I think when it's a collaboration between like photographer and creative director, then of course like the photographer still has their vision and still takes shots based on like their vision and like of course they think of like okay what's gonna look the best, but the creative director should be responsible of how the model is moving, and
Right.
it depends on the project, on the needs of the project. I would
Right.
say sometimes creative directors only just mostly focus on creating the mood board, and on the shoot if there's also like a cool photographer on board, there is no such need of directing a lot.
Right.
And
Right.
I mean if it's also like there are cool models which they like which just understand like get what they need to do, so it depends, I would say.
Right.
But yeah, it's mostly like when it comes to bigger productions, the shoot can get so hectic, so
Yeah.
everyone needs to focus on one thing which they're doing.
Right.
So it's very hard to focus on the whole process, so director takes the part that like you should see the whole image, the whole picture of like okay what's going on and
Basically
should be
where
there.
everything goes, where everyone goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Like that.
Perfect. It's a very
That makes sense.
No, of course it makes sense. I think it's like a fun little dance between a photographer and a creative director. And I have also like met photographers and videographers who, like you said, take over creative direction as well. But yeah, when it's a bigger production, like I think I saw a campaign film by Tira last year,
Okay.
which was like a massive production. They had like 30-40 people on board, and I think it makes more sense when it's such a big production to have like
Yeah.
dedicated people for dedicated roles.
I would say honestly like the creative director, it's basically the same person, the same director as in movies or as in
Right.
like video ads or something, but just when it comes to fashion shoots, creative director should also have a sense of
Like,
fashion
know what
and the
fashion is.
aesthetic and all. So something like that. But honestly, why I'm also like getting a bit confused because back in like Russia when I also did some shoots there, like literally the roles are like the labels of creative director, you're like this, you're that, it sometimes it's played a bit differently.
Okay.
Like sometimes people, I would say it also depends on the industry and on the country also.
Right, of course.
Yeah. So like of course there won't be like very big difference, but yeah, it's just like what people are used to call these people. Like
Right.
that.
So of course it differs with like the geographical locations
yeah,
as
yeah.
well. Right. I think we were talking about like how you sort of find inspiration, and it's actually very interesting for me because I have also never, heard a photographer say this, that I listen to music and there are visuals flashing by, because as a creative, everyone has a process that might be labeled as weird by a certain someone. Like for me, for example, my creative process is quite similar. The medium is different. I actually go to art museums and I look at paintings, and I don't read what the painting is about. I first just stand there, for a few minutes. And like you said, I also have visuals, flashing by, and I let them sort of just come and see how it's making me feel. And you'd be surprised how many times what the artist is trying to say is so much different than what you feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like that gives rise to a new story altogether, And that's why I think it's very interesting, like you said, how you get inspired. And I feel like every creative should just enjoy their process. I felt very good when you said that.
I think actually everyone should just like understand their like process of
Yes.
inspiration
Yes.
and their like what they're sensitive to,
Yes.
because that's very important to personalize like this process.
Yeah, like I had someone, like someone who wanted to get into designing or like starting a brand, and I remember this question vividly. She'd come up to me and she was like, "How do you find inspiration?" And I was like, "That's a very subjective question. You sort of have to, find your own way. There are ways of getting inspired visually. There are ways of getting inspired by other senses, right?" And then she just asked me to tell me my tell her my process specifically, and then I did, but I also told her, you need to find
yours.
your own.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
It might not help. Like for
Yes.
example, like if I go to a gallery and I look at the pictures, like
Yeah.
I will get something in my mind.
maybe for
but
once or twice, and
yeah.
then the third time you're gonna go like, okay, no, this is not
yeah,
working.
yeah. And you know, like how some designers also, they're like sensitive to like actual like feeling, like they need to feel the fabric, they need to see, they need to touch it. So it's all about that. Like,
yeah, there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's very subjective
big,
again. But talking about brands, so like I was saying in the start, that every film that I've seen you direct or edit or like even just shoot, it's very interesting in a way where it's sort of oozing out an emotion. It's not just about the garment. I feel like you're trying to narrate a story. Now, when it comes to working with brands have now started, becoming very creative. But there's always this sort of a fight where the brand sort of tells you, okay, we want a very artistic, a very creative film. And then when you go ahead with it, like you said, you use your process, they also sort of tell you to, okay, no, just focus on the outfit. How do you sort of deal with that back and forth? And
it's a big pain of everyone, every creator. Honestly, this thing I think discussed in every project, every shoot I'm doing. Whatever we do, like everyone also like always like complains like, oh, I wish we shoot it like horizontally. Horizontal is just like something cinematic to do and all, and I understand that, and I also say that. But recently I just realized that there is nothing wrong with the brands wanting to show their items, their clothes, garments, whatever, because the whole shoot is about that. Of course, they want to be creative, they want to be cool, but by the end of the day, the whole meaning of the shoot is just to sell the product. And there is nothing bad in this. I would say it's just the matter of how you do how you do this. So, of course, like I'm facing this, I think, almost every shoot. Like, there are also like chill people who like
just let you do your thing.
They're just like fine with they trust your vision. They're fine with whatever you're doing, and that's of course like a celebration for like each creator. But like I'm saying this because I used to get really bothered by all these changes getting from the brands, that okay, this needs to be shown, okay, we need to close up of the product. But then I just sort of like understood their side as well. And I don't think there's something wrong in this. It's just, of course, like you always should balance the style and like the aesthetic part of the video and showing the product. Because at the same time, I'm not saying, like, I wouldn't say that all the creatives are also correct, and like when they make work just for themselves, like just to make something creative which they like. I mean, like, honestly, I think it's kind of unfair because it's all done on the productions or brand's money.
Yeah.
So, and it's if it comes to like a big shoot, of course it's big money, and I don't think it's fair that the brand just wants to sacrifice it just for someone's art. Of course, they need to get something what they want, and it's completely normal, and we should all understand that. I think it's just like you should just communicate and try to balance what the brand wants and just suggest what will look good as well. But of course, it happened a lot of times when instead of some great shot, you have to just like fill the shots of like product or something. But honestly, it mostly happens with either like smaller brands who honestly just cannot they cannot afford to make a shoot that looks too artistic that might not work for their audience. They cannot take this risk. They also have to show the product. So I get that also.
Okay. But so did you ever have to like walk away from a brand shoot because your ideas just were clashing too much? And
I mean, when it's started, no. When we already started, I would say no. Like, I mean, I'm always trying to be flexible, and like I have this vision and opinion that like I'm always just wishing the best for the project, whatever it is, whatever is happening. If it's not working what I'm doing, for example, if we're not matching with the vision, and sometimes it happens that they like the production or the brand wants to finish the work by themselves, like do the post-production themselves, I'm also fine with that, because again, by the end of the day, they should be happy. It's for them. I mean, of course it's my work as well, but it's still their product, their brand, and they should be happy. So I'm okay with anything which will work for like everyone.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But then in this process, do you like sometimes feel like you have lost touch with your passion, or like how do you sort of balance that? You always have to do what your client says to satisfy them, but at the same time you need to be passionate about what you're doing. So
I am pretty lucky because I would say most of the projects I do, it's the clients who like have the similar vision as I have, so we're pretty much on the same page. But of course, like there's misunderstandings, like it happens, and like of course sometimes I have to do something which I don't prefer. But also, like for me, the most painful thing is when we have to change the music again, because if literally for me it's very, very important to, because I build the whole feeling, I build the whole storyline of the like whole video based on the music or the sound which is there. So when they change it to something like to commercial, something which is just not fitting, I'm getting like
no, I get
so
it.
sad.
I get it. Like, I don't think I should even say this. Like, I can't even comment on this because I have zero experience in videography or anything. But when you start a brand, you sort of do everything yourself. So when I used to like make these reels or like tiny campaign films, I used to edit. So my sister is also into music.
Okay.
So my starting point of editing a video would be just going with the music and like how it's making you feel and following every beat. So the whole thing you're saying, and then there was this constant back and forth in my head where I was like, okay, but this music is not trending. But I was like, but I'm not feeling the music that's trending.
That happens a lot of time when they just choose something trendy over which is actually fitting to the video. And then it just ends up looking
so I get what you mean. Yeah, but interesting. So we're moving to a very fun part. I think this is my most
Sorry.
this is my most favorite segment of this talk. I always love talking about this. It's basically women in this field.
Okay, let's go.
Yes. So, coming to women in this field, like every other field, for the longest time, I feel like this very field of photography and videography has been dominated by men, at least in India, for the longest time. And now, since the past couple of years, we're finally seeing so many more women entering this field, you know. Like even today, we're surrounded by three of them. So I feel like first of all, yay, go women. But the interesting thing is, I have heard so many of my women friends in this field say this very thing that, we've been hearing this comment by a lot of our male counterparts, no offense to anyone, that women just don't have the physiology to handle the equipment or the gear or the lighting. And I have seen how crazy it can get on a shoot. Like there is a lot of equipment, there is a lot to do. The camera in itself is awfully heavy, there's a lot of movement happening, but at the same time I don't feel like it's impossible because hello, y'all are doing it. So have you ever like faced this sort of a treatment here in India where you've been sort of told down by a male counterpart, or what's your opinion over this?
So I know that this issue is there, and I wouldn't even say that I've heard of it like from my friends or someone, but I understand like what you mean. I understand this kind of feeling which you might get like on the shoot as well. For me, honestly, I've not faced anything like that because like I started in I started my career back in Bali,
Right.
and there everyone is very open-minded and very like, I mean, no one has any thoughts like this even. So it only depends on your professionalism. Sorry. It only depends on your professionalism and like your skills as a person, not as a gender,
Right, which is how it should be.
Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't say, I mean, it's not true that some gears are actually heavy and you might need some help, but I don't see any problem in this
and
because
asking for help.
again, like it can happen to anyone. It's not like it can happen to girls only or to like, and not happen to boys ever. No, it's like every person, every like human being needs help sometimes if they require. So like if you know something about yourself, you don't like even consider it if someone tells you something different. Like if you know you are like photographer and like some people come and say like, okay, you're a baker or something. You just, I mean, you don't even like relate to this. Yeah. So I would say work on yourself, on your own confidence, like change your own mind that you don't have any restrictions, that you just like, I mean, people in general don't have any kind of levels that we are divided to. So we're all equal in every single thing. So as long as you have this mindset, then all the doors will be open for you.
That's such a great advice. I think for everyone who's starting out, I think it's the most difficult when you're just starting out. So the whole idea of just knowing who you are is so important.
Yeah, for sure.
But moving on, do you feel like a woman brings a certain sensitivity to the set in a way where now the women are sort of shifting the fashion industry from being just about glam to more depth, more detail, more storytelling, just because we are essentially more emotional beings. We are very intuitive like that.
Again, like if you ask me, like my personal belief that it doesn't depends on the gender, it depends on like person basically. So everyone can do sensitive work projects, whatever, but yeah, maybe like women have a different way of like doing things,
Yeah.
like doing like I would say like maybe guys are more like straightforward,
Yes.
and it's more like, I don't know, less personalized
Yes,
on the
that's
shoot.
exactly what I mean.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that I haven't met any like women who are also like
No, of
bosses, you know,
course.
like, and have this boss behavior. And I mean, it's
No, they
nothing
can
bad in
still
this.
have
Yeah.
the boss behavior and be, very intuitive,
Yeah.
very sensitive to their emotions,
Mm.
and, act on their emotions as well. What I have observed during shoots is, now again, we will all have very different experiences. This is not, I cannot generalize anything, but I personally have noticed this, like you said, a male photographer is usually quite direct. They're more about, okay, the lighting is correct, okay, the angle is right, and nothing changes during shoot day. Like, I have a history in styling. I used to do styling gigs as well, so I've worked with a lot of male photographers, female photographers, and there's this thing that I observe, at least here in India, that on you decide everything, you mood board everything, you jot down the technicalities, but during the shoot day, um, things change, and that happens based on your intuition, your response to the emotion of how it is turning out, because up until now it's been in your head, it's been on paper, but when you see
Yeah.
it on
Yeah.
set,
Yeah.
you sort of respond to it and not just stick to that one box you have in your head.
Yeah.
So
yeah, maybe women are more flexible when it comes
yes,
to like creating the idea and all. But yeah, the thing is
it's
that
not
why
restricted to
yeah.
the gender.
Yeah, why I cannot
Yeah.
choose between the genders, because I've also met a lot of very like sensitive
Right.
guys who are also like go really deep on what they're doing. They're also based on their feelings, like, I mean,
No, I mean, we have one right here.
yeah, so I don't think it's like
Yeah,
you can split
definitely.
it
It's
between
just
the
don't want to generalize it,
Yeah.
but just what I've observed over time in India, and I'm glad that it's shifting, and
Okay.
even men are entering that.
No, a lot of times I've noticed like, oh, like it's, I mean, all girls, like missing no single
Most
man.
of my sets were all girls.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nothing like I'm choosing like girls crew over like guys or something. It's just like I mean, it's
It just
on
happens.
it just happens, and then like on just some shoots I noticed this, and I'm like, oh wow, it's like just very interesting how it's like all
Yeah,
happening
and
like this.
plus, like we have seen a lot growing up. Like, me personally, I could never imagine having a career of my own. That's the kind of conditioning I've come from.
Yeah.
So to see this, to see an all women set, or just women acing it in this field, just, or any field for that matter, just gives me so much happiness that okay,
Yeah,
we've moved forward as a generation altogether, and
Yeah,
that's
the
just
girls
a win.
go out of the like their boxes, and
Yes. So that's something. But talking about sets, so I have always believed that your energy sort of speaks louder than your actions. Like, you remember, as children, we always had this one teacher who, when she used to enter the class, everyone used to go silent, and
Yeah.
that wasn't necessarily out of fear, but it was a mutual respect.
Yeah.
So do you also sort of believe that when you enter a set, you sort of enter with this energy, this vibration that makes it or breaks it? It decides the entire vibe of the shoot from the start to the end.
No, like 1000% it's there. Like it's this is what defines you as a professional, as a person, as a just like people feel your energy through this. And this is a quite how to say, like a personal topic for me as well, because because I started working when I was young, and
Yeah.
a lot of people like how you say that, like like guys don't consider girls like professionals like in work. I had the same but with the age. So I was like, okay, because I was 17, of course everyone just saw my face and they knew everything about me. Everyone like thought that I'm a assistant or just like someone's kid here or something. So it always hurt, like it was hurting my feelings a lot at that time. So that's when I also started working on my appearance, like on, okay, how people see me and like what effects on people's like senses or like how they see me and all. And I discovered this topic like a lot. I was working on myself and like, okay, like do I need to change my clothes? Do I need to like change the way I speak? Actually, I think the first thing I changed is a Russian accent because when I was back in Bali, it was not like an issue or something, but I just didn't want people to see myself, like, because I don't know, somehow it just happened in the history that Russians are, I don't know, they have some, like people either like them or like us or don't like or something. I mean, have their own opinion, but like, I mean, it's, how to say, it's bringing something into your whole image, I would say. So I was like, and again, like, it's not like I want to hide my nationality or something, not at all. I just didn't want this to be,
like
to come in the first
notion.
Yeah. So I can speak like this also, you know, anytime I can do my Russian accent, anytime I can speak. But yeah, I didn't want this to
be the first thing.
So this first thing I changed, it's not like I completely got rid of it, but still, like, now I'm making people confuse where I'm from. Like now it's just like some mix of different accents, and now no one kind of puts any label on me because like they cannot relate it to anything. So second thing, clothes. I was like, okay, then clothes should be something different, something cool. But now what I've seen, like after experiencing bigger shoots and seeing bigger professionals, some producers, directors and everyone, like I can definitely say like clothes and all the other things, it does not matter at all, but your attitude and like not even attitude, like the way you feel inside, it just shows. You can't hide by having this like egoistic whole attitude, like just trying to like don't care about everything, but it just, you see who is doing this because that's a diva or who's doing this because they're insecure. So definitely I would not recommend to start acting like rude to someone just to, you know, like show that you are like a bigger person.
You're the boss.
No, it never, I mean, it puts you even lower.
Exactly.
So it's definitely the way you feel about yourself, your confidence. And the confidence, it's not something when you feel that, okay, I'm the best. It's just like when you know that you're at the right place and you deserve to be where you are, I would say like this.
Right.
So even like working with like celebrities and like even like people from like fashion industry in general has a lot of people with attitude and all. And of course, like if you're a freshener, you will get scared first, like by these people, but then later you just realize that, I mean, you just like admit this behavior and then you just stop relating to it and then start reacting to it, and you just consider, okay, like you do you, I'll be like a nice person and okay, like maybe it does not fit in this society, but I'll just do it. I mean, like decent people always win by the end of the day.
Exactly.
And,
and the thing that you said about like if you're secure in your own self, like it doesn't matter, you don't have to even
prove anything.
Like I even read this somewhere, if you're confident enough, no matter what the other person says to you, no matter how offensive, you're just gonna stay calm, you're not gonna even argue. The whole noise
Yeah.
just gets
Yeah.
deleted because you know where to put
Yeah.
your energy and where
Exactly.
not to. And this whole preconceived idea of fashion industry being a certain way, that you have to be, you know a
Yeah.
certain mean
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
to be in this industry, is so false. And I feel like it's upon our generation to finally sort of get rid of this idea and, like you said, work on our inner selves and just take that energy around, do your thing.
Yeah.
So
No, for sure, like this aura matters 100%. This what comes first.
yeah, it's so glad that you said it, and we touched this topic about fashion industry being a certain way, because
Like sometimes I feel like everyone is aware of it, but at the same time, as soon as you get into the field, you like those people also change too.
Yeah.
Like they bend under
Yeah.
like majority of people who act
True,
like.
true.
Yeah.
Because they sort of, you're in that race mentally,
Yeah.
and you feel like you're not getting ahead because of
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
When
yeah.
I just feel like everyone has a different process,
Yeah.
journeys, and you're gonna reach there. Just be kind.
Yeah, exactly. Just be kind to people.
And
that all matters.
patient.
Yeah, sometimes like I would say like a year back or something, when I started communicating with like people who were like from high fashion industry and all, and when I started seeing all this like fashion people around me, I literally started being insecure that I'm not like fashionable enough, in the sense like of my behavior, that like I'm not this person who like says babe or like hi
Yeah,
honey,
so like the fashion
yeah,
people.
like no babe, I cannot say this. And just because in Russian we just don't speak like this, like how like you have this like
it's true, and no fashion designer
yeah.
actually dresses like this at all times.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, at some point I thought like, okay, should I also start being even like this? Hi honey, hi love.
Oh my god, I
But
love.
then I realized, okay, it's just so not me. And the thing is that I was afraid that I might seem rude to other people, because I'm just
No.
calling everyone by their name and like this. But then I was like, no, I mean, if I start faking it, it won't come naturally.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
can tell, like, people come up to you, and like in Hindi there is this way of respectfully, because I don't believe in it, addressing someone by adding a certain G.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can tell very easily when this person is just buttering me up and they don't actually respect me, just to
Yeah.
get their way. So I feel like this whole idea of calling people by their name, if your energy is right, if your intentions are right, people will read right through it. And that is what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. Just be yourself.
Yes, just be yourself and be kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, that brings me to my last question,
Okay.
which is, what is the most fulfilling part of your job? Like, what is that one thing that makes you go like, yeah, this is why I do what I do?
Again, it might be personal for like everyone. For
Yeah.
me, it is like I'm definitely a result person. Like
Oh.
I like seeing the final thing which we're working on, and if it's like this feeling when you look at it and you see that okay, it worked out. It's like it brings exact feeling which I had like
Yeah.
in my mind. That's when I'm thinking like, okay, we're not
No, I
giving up.
get
Let's go.
Yeah.
But honestly, even the shooting part, if the shoot is something interesting, cool, aesthetic, I love it. Like I love directing also. I love like sensing this feeling which this whole set brings to like to me and to people.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it really
No, I
inspires
get
me
it.
that you can create some feeling which can affect other people
It's
like
so
in a
true.
good way. Yeah, like
Yeah.
which can transfer this feeling to like the audience.
Yeah, and this was the feeling that you had initially
Yeah.
in your mind, and to finally share it with
Yeah.
everyone is a very rewarding
Yeah.
feeling, I'd say, because I feel the same way every time we do a campaign film, and it's in your head and you're like saying, 1,000 things. But when it actually happens, and you're like, okay, this is it. This is exactly what I sort of imagined.
Yeah.
That-
What about you? What is that feeling for you?
For me, I would say, I think for me, my favorite part as a designer is when a client just without asking for feedback just sort of comes to me and goes like, dude, this outfit made me feel like I can pull off a sexy outfit and I don't have to be a certain body type. And I'm not lying, this might feel like, just a business lie that you do, but I haven't had the time to go to my clients and ask for feedback because I've been short staffed.
Yeah.
But clients have come up to me and said this thing that, your outfit helped me with this insecurity. And I, as a child, have dealt with body insecurities, being called flat or being called too thin. So when someone comes to you and says that, it's so personal. It feels like, yes, this is why I do, what I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
has been so much fun. And we're sort of
Twisting.
entering the whole segment where we flip the script. But you already asked me a question. Let that pass. This is the segment where you can think of it like a return gift for letting me pester you for all this while, where you can ask me any question, no boundaries.
I don't know. I had this one question, which is I don't know if someone asked you before and you have spoken about it before, but what would you do if not the brand? If not do you think you have some other passion as well, which could be working for you for your career?
So it's funny that I'm saying it here, but I always thought I wanted to talk about fashion, if not be a fashion designer. So I have this written in my journal. Like during COVID, since we were all at home, I even tried that, but I was too shy. I was too in my head. I used to make these notes, and I did 5 to 6 videos and I gave up because I was too afraid of the judgment. So I just wrote it in my journal, okay, one day I will host a show where I'll just talk fashion. But
so you're doing dual, you're doing both.
yeah. But then I did not know that, when I meant host, I meant I would be presenting and it would be someone else's production. This whole podcast journey, it just happened. And so yeah, that's sort of the answer to your question. I love talking about fashion.
Amazing.
If not a designer, I would be.
You just continue this. Okay.
Yes. So thank you so much. I hope that answers your
Yeah,
question.
of course.
But quickly gonna do our last part, which is the fun part. It's sort of like a rapid fire, but basically I ask you 3 or 4 questions and you answer without thinking, 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay. Oh my god.
Just quickly gonna. That is my. Sorry, this is all messed up. Where are the questions? Yeah. Okay, cool.
I
Ready?
hope it's not hard questions or something.
No, just first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Okay. A film that made you want to make films.
Have you heard of okay, there are a couple of maybe it is definitely Pirates of Caribbean, if you heard of
Everyone
it.
knows that.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
of
the other thing
course.
is what I wanted to say first is Pink Panther.
Yes.
Yeah? You
Yes.
also know that?
Yes, everyone. I think everyone
The
knows
movie,
Pink
not
Panther.
the cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I love this comic sense in it. It's just it's very simple. It's I know everyone says very deep movies when people ask them about this, but these are my favorite movies. These are the movies which bring good mood to me. So I would say it's
Interesting.
that, yeah.
Love that. Never would have guessed it for sure. But director's chair or editing desk?
Director's chair, of course.
Okay, dream collaboration, dead or alive?
Again, like maybe not very obvious, but it's Nike. For some reason, like I love this whole sport, like the sports brand that create like motivation
Right.
feeling, because it also like pretty close to me, and I did sport like back in Kazakhstan, so I don't know, somehow like I don't know, I really
No,
like
that's
I'm
what I was
dreaming to make some
wondering.
strong campaign for like
A
sport
sportswear
brand. Yeah,
brand.
yeah,
Really cool. Last question. Oh my god. If you weren't a filmmaker,
yeah.
you'd be.
I would do a podcast, okay? If I wouldn't be a filmmaker, I think, first of all, I think I would be good in any kind of business, whatever relates to just not how to say, like not directing, but like
A set?
not a set. 1 second, like what? Like I just forgot this word. Sorry. Like whatever you need to basically like how do what? Sorry.
It's okay, take your time.
Whatever is related to like communication and like just managing the project. I don't know, not like exactly a project manager, but something related to like a person who just sees the whole
Like in management.
Yeah,
Maybe
management,
like managing
yeah.
the whole project.
Yeah, the whole project and all. So yeah, I think
Ah.
I'm good at that.
Interesting. Hope you had fun. that
Actually,
you-
like doing a podcast was also like one of my
Really?
goals for this year as well.
Yay.
So
Yeah, it wasn't my goal, but I told you
Yeah.
what mine was. But I'm so glad I could be a
Yeah.
part of your dream.
same. Thank you guys.
So thank you so much, guys. I hope y'all liked it. Yeah, I was looking here. But I hope y'all enjoy this. I had a lot of fun,
Me
Daria. I hope you had a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
for sure.
Do not forget to follow her page on Instagram. It's in the description below. With this, we come to the end of our season 1. Season 1, I really wanted to bring in, different sectors of the industry and sort of introduce them on a surface level, get to know each and every field better. But season 2 is gonna be much more deeper. We're gonna dive deeper into every sector of the industry, talk about even more uncomfortable topics, and sort of, get to know the industry better, get more real about it. So, yeah, I'll see you in the season 2. Until then, stay audacious and curious.